Hey there lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, where I love to talk all things makeup, especially makeup tutorials. In this video today, I'm going to be covering best eyeshadow color for blue eyes. I was inspired to make this video because I was looking through my eyeshadow collection and I just remember the first eyeshadow I ever wore was Mary Kay. And it was a brown set that I had. I was so surprised at how the brown made my eyes pop. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, just keep on watching. Okay, I've got you all zoomed in here so that you can see everything that I am doing for this look. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in with some eyeliner to shape out the eye look that I want to create here. So this is just the E.L.F, what is it? No Budge Retractable Eyeliner, and this is in brown. And I'm gonna start lining my, my wing here that I wanna do. I'm only gonna bring this in about halfway because I wanna keep all the depth in the outer corner of my eye. And I'm also going to look straight ahead. Oops, it's retractable, but a little too retractable. I get my fingers on it. So I'm gonna look straight ahead here, because this hood, if I lift my eye up in any way, it's going to lift that hood, but I want it to be at rest so I can really get that eyeliner laid there. Okay, so I've got that, and now I'm going to come in with this brush and just kind of like smoke this out a little bit, soften it up. And this is gonna start creating that depth out in the corner of my eye that I want. And I'm gonna be using two different eyeshadow palettes for this look. I'm gonna be using my Natasha Denona Glam palette. I'll show you the inside here. And then I'm also gonna be using my ColourPop Grandeur palette. And because I really wanted to use these more warm browns rather than cool tone browns to get the look that I'm trying to achieve. So I'm gonna use this color outer eyelid shade right here, and it's a shimmer shade. Don't be afraid of using shimmer shades other than, on your eyelid and things, because they really create this depth and dimension and they bring interest to an eye look. If you haven't seen my basic eyeshadow look, I'll put it up here in the cards so that you can go and check that out, that I just recently posted. And I use a shimmer shade very similar to this one. I'll actually be using that same shimmer shade in this look to use as, transition shade. I was able to use it in, a different way than what you would typically use a shimmer shade for. So now I'm going to come in with two colors here, Velvet and Dusk. I'm going to kind of dip into both of them because this dusk color, it does kind of lean red brown, and I do want the warmth, but tone it down just a little bit with that other color that's a little bit lighter. And if I ever mention, an eyeshadow palette that is not in stock anymore or not carried by the brand, Mercari is always a wonderful place to find eyeshadows. You can find them new as well, like in their boxes. You could also, if you wanted to get them used, you can do that too. Just spritz a little rubbing alcohol over them, that sanitizes them, then you wipe off that top layer there. Because sometimes we just get in the game a little late and miss out on some of the really, really cool eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so what I'm coming in now with is that color Velvet, and I'm just putting that kind of above my crease to blend into my eyebrow here to soften up this edge just a little bit. And also I don't really need to dip into that a whole bunch because I can just use my brush here and blend that in. And I brought it above my crease because having hooded eyes, you want to bring that color above your crease to open your your eye up, make it look bigger than it really is. So I'm gonna come in with this Lava shade. That was the shade that I used in that eye tutorial, if you haven't seen that. I'm gonna come in with a flat sheer brush. I'm gonna create more dimension and interest by putting this on my mobile lid, kind of at a diagonal. I'm bringing it mostly over. And then I'm gonna bring a little bit of that up into my crease, or above my crease, so that you can see that dimension and interest there as well. Then I'm gonna dip into Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I'm gonna use the center eyelid shade. It's kind of like a soft gold color. And I'm gonna put that on the innermost part of my eye. Kind of blend that into that lava shade and up a little bit. There we go. Because I'm keeping all of the depth and the darkness out here in the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm putting the light part in the inner corner of my eye to really bring my eye forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now. And we'll come back and finish up the eye look. face all done. Honestly, there's a couple of things. I forgot to prime my lids. Cardinal rule. That was totally my bad. But I I was wondering why like things were blending, but at the same time it was like sticking so well, and it's just because I did not prime, and so the glitters are a lot stronger than they were, because otherwise I'd have a powder on there, or the shimmers, I guess, not glitters, but that's okay. It still turns out and it looks really great. Priming your lids will just make your eyeshadow last that much longer. Second thing, I was putting on my base and I was really struggling with my blush. I don't know what was going on, but we got it all on. So talking through just a couple of things I did. So I did come in and I used my Heaven's Glow blush from M Cosmetics in Baroque, because I found that this blush actually works really well as kind of a contour for my face. It's cool toned. So I did that underneath of my bronzer. And then I put a pink lip, pink cheeks, because I think pink goes really well with brown, and it just really enhances, you know, my features. And, you know, we're trying to make blue eyes pop, and so the pink and the brown, that just is a great combo to do that. So let's finish up the eyes on this struggling look here. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to come in with that liner again. And I'm going to come just like in the outer third of my eye here. Deepen that up. And I am going to smudge that out just like I smudged the top. I don't need much more depth. What I am going to do is I'm going to come in with that shimmer Lavish shade, and I'm going to put that kind of underneath there and then bringing it over, because then I want to come in with that other light shade that we were using in the Natasha Denona palette. Put that in this right there. Now for some mascara, we're going to do the top and bottom lashes to complete the whole look. I find that if I just put mascara on my top lashes when I'm doing a full eyeshadow look like this, with even eyeshadow on the bottom, it looks very incomplete if I don't put some eyeshadow on the bottom. So we're going to do that. I'm going to focus it mostly in this outer third, and once I start hitting that light shade, that's where I'm going to kind of like taper off the mascara. And a trick for your bottom lashes, you can kind of use the tip of your mascara to coat your lashes rather than trying to use the whole big brush, because it's very easy to mark up the bottom part of your eye when you're trying to use the whole mascara wand to coat those bottom lashes. Remember, lots of blinking to get all of those lashes coated really well. And there you have it, the perfect eyeshadow color for blue eyes. This brown is just making my eyes pop with that little bit of gold to warm it up, you know, even a little bit more. But you know, we mix the cool and the warm tones of the brown here, and that's why it works so well. You know, we use the eyeliner. This is really a lot more cool toned brown. You can see that there. Then, you know, these other eyeshadows that we use that are very clearly, you know, warm. They've got like this red running through them. And so mixing those, it really makes just for this very cohesive, but, you know, very multi-dimensional color look here that is very interesting. So I'm loving the shimmer and everything. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and especially subscribe so I can keep creating more awesome content like this for you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!